Yeah.
Yeah, hi everybody.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
We're on your screen.
We're back.
again.
It's been a while.
We're here again.
We're back.
We're here, we're queer, and we're full of fear.
Yes, well.
I'm sorry. I didn't think it was gonna go that way.
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah.
I am
good.
at a loss for words today.
It's good to be back.
I was on a boat, so I couldn't do much. I was actually on a boat instead of theoretically on a boat. I would
love to be theoretically on a boat sometime.
I mean, we will be theoretically on a boat in a minute.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We are on a boat.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Hello?
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 Hello? Am I loud? Am I louder?
Hello.
Am I louder to the... Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I can only be on one boat at a time. You're right. You're so right. But I was on boat. I wanted to play D&D on boat. Boat said no. So now I'm off boat. And who knows? Land might also say no, but I want to hope that it says yes this time. So
I'm on a new setup, so hopefully we won't have problems.
Well, I mean, my problems are also shitty, so let's hope no problems across the board.
No problems.
No HBO Max?
I would hope not. If there was, I would fight HBO. I would
to
the max.
I would fight HBO himself.
I would fight HBO himself.
The HBO.
The HBO.
The HBO, Mr. Max.
Mr. HBO Max. I would fight him in hand-to-hand combat.
Would you win?
No, probably. I'd probably lose, but that's fine. The final boss of Verbena is HBO Max. You're so right. It was the same. HBO Max was also the final boss of Aelmir, so it's just
we love a callback.
When will the corporation stop messing with our lovely independent works?
When will capitalism stop taking over my stories?
And hold them all accountable. Wait, no.
Speaking of capitalism, we're partnered with some people.
Money!
Is it coffee money? Is it coffee money that we're partnered with?
I think there's a little bit of coffee and money. Coffee money. Yes. Are you thirsty, curious, or horny? Well, then our partners can take care of that problem. I'm gonna say that every single time because I love saying it.
I'm gonna break every single time.
It's so fucking good. But anyway, we're partnered with some really great people. If you like coffee and want to partake in the beverage that wakes you up immediately and is not 5-hour energy, well then you can totally use our code for Grinding Coffee Co. Because why not? You support a Black queer-owned company as well as our content. And you get kick-ass coffee called The Gay Agenda. Where else are you going to find coffee like that? I'll answer your question, or my question, nowhere. You will get it at Grinding Coffee Co. only. So go over there and get that coffee and put it in every beverage you drink. It's great.
Yeah.
Honestly. Really good.
And unlike other coffees, it gets shipped straight to your house. And that's the only thing straight about it.
The only straight thing about it. I got you. I see you.
Hey, I'll say that every time. Because I love that one.
So definitely go check it out. They have cold brew. They have regular coffee. They have decaf. They're working on some teas if they don't have them already. They are in the works. They have some cool stuff if you're not a coffee drinker. They have masks and hoodies and shirts and mugs and all those fun things for you to check out that has their really awesome logo on it, which is a skeleton drinking something. It doesn't have to be coffee, it's drinking something, and you can totally have that logo on a ton of different things if you want to. So go check that out. And are you curious but not thirsty? Well, then you can go check out Conundrum House, which is a small business in Corvallis, Oregon that is primarily focused on the art of mystery, the art of storytelling and mystery. So I guess because we have our resident conundrum here, tell us about it.
Hello, everyone. I'm your resident problem. And I am here to talk to you about Conundrum House.
Amazing.
Honestly, Conundrum House is great. Conundrum House is, again, it's a small game store and library. So you can either buy or rent games. So if you haven't, like, let's say you want to try out Hunt a Killer and haven't done one before, but don't want to pay a bunch of money, you know, you can rent one from Conundrum House, check it out, see if you like it, and then just bring it back to the store when you're done. You can then try another Hunt a Killer. You know, it's a great way, you know, to try new mystery games, but they all have all sorts of stuff. They also have puzzles. They have immersive like LARP games. They have card games. They sell all bunch of like Critical Role merchandise. They host Critical Role watch parties. And here soon, I'll actually also be professionally DMing there. So if you live in the Corvallis, Oregon area and would like to come DM with moi or play D&D with moi, hi, keep an eye out for Conundrum House. That'll be announced hopefully here soon. But more importantly, if you want to check out their shop and see all the cool stuff that they check out the link that was in the chat, conundrum.house. And if you use the link in the chat along with promo code Thesperience, you can get 15% at checkout. And that little discount goes towards helping our streams. So not only do you help a wonderful small family-owned company in Corvallis that loves to do a lot of activism work within the community, you'll also be helping out our streams. And we like to do, you know, activism work in our community. So all around the mystery fun. Now, Jason, what if they're horny?
Well, don't you worry, my horny friends. I have the solution for you.
We're 18 plus streams.
Well, if you didn't figure that out already, I don't know what's going on. But
I just needed to make sure that was said.
I mean, they wouldn't be able to find their way here if you know. Anywho, yeah, y'all horny bastards. We're friends and partners with As You Like It, which is a very queer-friendly sex shop in Eugene.
They actually have 2 locations. They have a location in Eugene, Oregon, as well as Ashland, Oregon. So they are a sexual health and gender health shop.
Yeah, they got a lot of cool things. They have art, they have stickers, they have bits, they have bobs. They've got all of that good stuff. And their website
and the bobs.
And their website has all of said bits and bobs on that. So you should definitely why? Stop
Nessa.
it, Nessa. Nessa.
Nessa says, for those who don't see the chat, it's in Eugene, and it can also be in you. And you know, it's true. They do sell those kinds of tools and implements, but they also sell things. They also sell things like binders and packers and different types of underwear and clothing to help with, you know, gender presentation. And they also sell a lot of great indie artwork. They also sell books about polyamory and consent and trans and queer history. And it's really, honestly, just a really cool shop.
They also have a lot of business cards for different businesses around town. So if you do have the opportunity to go into any of those stores in person, definitely check out their little bulletin board of stuff, because there's a lot going on, and that's probably the best place to check out stuff happening in the area.
Yeah,
So.
especially if you are a queer person or a spicy straight. Then that'll be a great place for you to find out some local artists and some local events happening. And apparently I have not set up the chat command for it yet, but if you go to the website, just as you like it, if you look it up, you can find the Eugene or the Ashland location. They both share the same website. And all you need to do is use promo code Thesperience at checkout, and you can save 10% off of your entire online order. And this is for US shipping. Unfortunately, at the moment, there is no international shipping, but I think they're working on that. So yeah, those are our sponsors. Thank you all so much for affiliating and sponsoring us.
Yeah, and thank you for being thirsty, a little curious, and horny. So that,
you know, all the types of thirsty, for drink, for knowledge, and for,
thirst's sake, you know?
That gay shit.
That gay shit.
as you like it.
Yeah. So awesome. It's been a minute since we D&D'd in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all remember what you were up to, right? Y'all remember that you had just finished kicking ass and returning back to the ship that you're supposed to be on, and then taking refuge in a nice little cruise quarters rest area on the top deck with some of your employers and other crew members that you're familiar with. So Pater, the cruise director, Dragonborn, Caroline Majors, the head of hospitality, and Nixil Fifth, the head of entertainment and organizing shows and productions and all of the musical entertainment that's around the ship at all times. And you all decided that you were going to break up the party a little bit, send Denton to do something a little less intensive, in exchange for Pater, who has a little bit of martial arts experience under his belt. And you decided that the group of you, along with Pater, were going to go and finally visit Captain Richter Clay, who is currently taking control of the SS Verbena, which is the ship that you all work for. That sound about right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So your two groups, you all with Pater, and then Denton, Caroline, and Nixil, decided to split up and go off on your separate ways. The three of them kind of get the lowdown from you of, go off, see how many people on board you can look after, and kind of, if they're being held hostage, if you can kind of rescue them, bring them together. And you also gave them information that a safe place for them to kind of take refuge is in the kitchen and in one of the main dining halls that's on the ship, with all of the kitchen staff, the nurse that's on board, and the head of engineering. So all of those people are kind of together in the kitchen, in the dining room, and you're kind of sending the others to kind of recruit all of the rest of the just guests that are on board and take them to a safe place so that they can kind of get away from all of the other pirates. And if there are people that are able and willing to fight, to kind of make their way towards the bridge to kind of back you up with your whatever plan it is that you are thinking of enacting when you get there to encounter the head of these pirates, their captain. Yes, fisticuffs.
We're gonna fight.
Go fight.
I mean, that's been the trend so far. So,
all right. So the room that you're in, you had previously kind of blocked the door just while you kind of sat and had a rest and kind of recuperated from your whole experience on the other boat. But now that you kind of have this plan in motion, you're able to, move all that furniture to the side just in case you have to get back in later. And the door opens up to the little hall that you were previously in. And you kind of walk out onto the main deck of the boat that has, like shuffleboard and, table tennis and all of those different kinds of activities for people to do on board. But it's eerily quiet with all of the guests being on the lower decks and kind of spread out and, relatively still and silent. Where's everyone going?
Well,
You're gonna head straight to Homeboy, right?
yeah,
Straight to Homeboy?
straight to Homeboy.
Straight to
And fight
Homeboy.
anyone between us and Homeboy, I assume.
That sounds like a plan.
All
That was
right.
Carter's plan.
Okay. So the group of you kind of go to the stairwell that you're all kind of familiar with. You know the layout of the ship pretty well. And if you don't, Pater's able to kind of guide you down the stairwell towards the navigation deck. And just as you were before Alara put you all to sleep, you're kind of met with that set of doors that lead into the hallway that kind of goes to the bridge. And Pater kind of walks up to the little window that's on the door that you all remember looking in before, and kind of looks around, and Pater steps back, and I don't see anyone in the hallway. I mean, they could all be in there, probably. Most of them are in there to make sure that, stuff like this doesn't happen. But, should I go first?
No,
No.
no. Carter's gonna go first.
Pips was nodding her head, and then when everyone said no, she started nodding, shaking her head no.
Yeah, go for. I mean, no,
No,
go for
no,
first.
no,
Yeah,
no,
obviously,
no,
they'll go
no.
first.
No, I know Carter. When he goes in, when they ask like, should I go first? Carter's like, no. If you don't mind, let me. And kind of,
Be careful.
of course, kind of gives Pips a little pat on the head, like a little, and then it's gonna kind of head to the door. It's also gonna take a peek in, see if I see anything. You want me to roll?
Yeah, for perception.
Okay. All right. Nat 20.
Hey! No one's in the hallway.
Okay, I go in carefully.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I am careful and I am stealthy, but I don't want to just throw open the door all Cusco style. So just nice and slowly, carefully. Well, Carter doesn't want to just kick open the door all Cusco style.
Okay.
Maybe not in this situation at least. But yeah, so he's gonna try and stealthily open the door and kind of slip in to get a better look around. So I'll roll for stealth.
Yes. Is everybody going in or just you?
Carter, I think Carter would offer. It's like, let me scout it first.
Okay.
George is okay with that.
I take over the front of the group once Carter goes in and keep my eye on him.
Okay.
Carter would communicate that if it's clear, if it seems clear, he'll wave you in. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like, he would give a signal for, hey, like stay there. So yeah, like stay there or come in, like either way. And he'll just very stealthily, carefully head out by himself. Okay, not a nat 20, but not bad.
I'd also like to keep an eye on the hallway as he moves through it.
Oh, Pips is already like in the back, just keeping an eye over her shoulders.
And I got a 15 for stealth.
Okay. You are easily able to kind of sneak into this hallway. the doors that are kind of along this room kind of lead to, one room where they can contact other Navy vessels if need be with some sort of telecommunication that's based in magic. It's kind of like a Morse code device, but it's kind of magically fueled.
Okay.
There's another room that's more along the lines of a rest room for, not like a bathroom, but like a rest area for
Yeah.
people to kind of switch duty if they're on standby for kind of looking over the radar and watching the weather and, doing all of those sorts of things on the bridge. But that room, the door's closed. You don't know if there's anybody in there. You don't hear anything. So people are either sleeping in there or there's somebody, locked in there that was on the original crew, or they're not locked in there, but they're not getting back up again, kind of thing. So you don't know
Yeah.
what's in that little rest area. And then towards the end of the hall, there is a door with a porthole that leads to the bridge.
Carter is going to take a peek in the room, the one room,
Which one?
the rest
The
kind
little
of
rest area?
Yeah.
Okay.
And see if there's anyone in there.
Okay.
Because I think Carter's brain is telling him that, oh God, I hope there's no one dead in there, but I need to know.
Okay. If you're going to open the door, I'm going to suggest rolling stealth. So roll stealth for me.
Okay. All right. I'll roll another stealth.
Because you are pushing a heavy door open.
Okay. So that was one higher than my last one. So that's a 16.
A 16. Okay.
Okay. And strength?
And strength, yes.
Where is my strength? It's up there. My strength's nice. Okay. Okay. All right. So that is going to be another 16.
Okay, 2 16s. You kind of start to push the door. You hear a little squeak from the bolts that are kind of holding it together, but you kind of toy with it a little, press it, kind of pull it back, and kind of keep the momentum of opening the door. So you do kind of crack it open a little without making too much noise, and you peek in, and the lights are off. So you can't see much because there aren't any windows out to like the outside. But the smell that's in the room hits you, and it is not pleasant but familiar.
He shuts the door, and he closes his eyes, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, he thought he was done, with this shit, but suddenly he's not. So he might kind of just like rest his head, close his eyes, rest his head like against the metal of the door, that cold metal, to try and like sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Swallows all that down and then keeps going down the path towards the porthole.
Okay. Rest of the group, are we staying at the door? Are we going into the hallway? What are we doing?
Oh, we can't hear you, Mish.
I'm having a great time. Once Carter passes by that first door, Atticus is going to give kind of like a really low grunt in his chest and start moving everyone forward.
Okay.
Kind of motioning with his tail for them to stay like close, but not like up on his butt as much as he would like that at the moment. But
Easy enough. Yeah.
Later.
Everybody in the group, let me have you roll stealth.
No.
Also, do you want me to roll stealth to continue moving forward?
Yes.
Hold on a second. I low-key forgot. Okay, hang on.
George got an 18.
Sweet.
Oh wait, hang on.
Me too.
Two
Wait, where the
18s?
frick is stealth? I got a 17.
Okay, 2 17s and
Hey.
18.
I got
Okay.
a 4.
No.
Wait,
Oh.
6.
Okay.
Can my 22 help him at all? Everyone else behind me did great, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I
Pips is light on her
I
feet.
did just smell a bunch of bodies, and I
that
may be a
is
little triggered right
true.
now.
That is true.
I'm probably a bit triggered right now. I'm probably not.
That smell isn't coming through the door, is it?
No.
Okay.
And Carter would have fully shut that door.
Yeah, it has that when it closes, it has that feeling of it suctions in place to keep if there was any emergency where there was water to not get into the room. So it does have that suction to keep everything in the
Mhm.
room.
Okay.
All right. So my 17 and 18s or plus above 18. You all kind of know the drill of, keep quiet, listen to Atticus, follow along, you got it. So Atticus you kind of walk into the hallway and Pips and George kind of follow along behind. Carter's not doing so hot. So I feel you're so focused on the incident with the door that you don't really notice that the rest of the group is kind of coming up behind you.
Yeah, he's trying not to throw up. He's trying not to cry. He's trying not to scream. He's trying to do not to do a lot of things, and so he does not process his surroundings for a bit.
Yeah, so you might not notice that Atticus is coming up behind you with the rest of the group. That might do you a little scare.
Yeah, I almost want to roll a survival and see if he goes into fight or flight.
If you think that's what Carter would do, then roll for it.
If Carter just smelt what I'm assuming is dead bodies. Yes?
It is a familiar smell. You didn't see it, but you smelled it.
I smelt something dead-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I think he would probably not feel safe. So if he is startled, he may lash out, especially if he thought the others had stayed behind. So I'm gonna roll and see. Do we want to do it a number thing or an odds or evens thing?
I'd say roll Constitution.
Constitution? Okay.
To see if your body is able to kind of overpower.
I don't
or not,
like that face.
Or not?
Okay, so maybe it's an 11.
It's an 11. Okay, the way that I'll describe it, because you're not caught off guard, because I feel like with an 11, you would sense that, somebody's coming up behind you, but you don't have to worry about it because they're not running at you, they're not whatever. And you do take in that it's Atticus and George and Pater and Pips. But you do feel that gut sensation of this anxiety. That it's okay, I'm going to have to process this and get it out of my system. But you're a little off kilter.
Yes.
Is it easy to read that Carter is off kilter?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, it depends. Is it showing or is it?
I rolled what's my performance? I rolled a 10 performance. So I'd say it's clear that something's off, especially if Atticus saw Carter look into the room and then shut the door, press the forehead, take a moment, and then walk.
Yeah, it would probably be. It would
I
be
think
noticeable.
Atticus would definitely be able to piece at something, but I feel like everyone else would be able to figure Carter's off.
And
but Atticus would probably know why. Ish.
Yeah. What was that, Olivia?
So
I was gonna see if I could approach Carter, but I'm a little nervous. Well, first of all, I'm like at the back of the row, so
Yeah, you'd have to make your way up to where Carter
I'd have
is.
to make my way up. But can I easily reach Atticus?
You're like right behind Atticus. Because you and
Can I
George
tap
kind of followed
Atticus
him.
on the tail?
George is kind of oblivious. He's just like trying to see what's happening next, but he doesn't really notice that Carter's not having a vibe.
Not having a
Not having a vibe.
Fair.
Pips is gonna tug on the tail of Atticus a little bit just so she could get his attention.
I peeks over his shoulder really quick.
She's gonna point to Carter and like give a thumbs up, but with a very worried face.
Atticus gives back kind of a worried face because he knows he's had 2 panic attacks since this whole adventure's happened. So he's not surprised that someone else is also trying to fight those back. So he like kind of gives a wait for a second kind of move because he knows Carter's wielding sharp knives, and if there's anyone who's going to be able to withstand a knife hit, it would be the Shark Man.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Pips is gonna look very worried and saddened by this, but will nod her head and kind of like fall back a little bit more to where she was originally.
So this might not be like the actual description of this spell, but it's up to you if it works or not, because I used it kind of like this earlier. But Atticus is going to give Carter a little like kitty style head bunt on his shoulder. He's like squat down and bunt his head on Carter's shoulder and murmur something about whatever it was, we're past it now, and we have to keep moving forward, and cast calm emotions for him.
Yeah, I'd say that works.
Don't even roll. Carter welcomes it. If it's calm emotions, usually a person has to contest it. But I think if Carter realized what Atticus was doing, Carter feels calm for the first time in like years. And it's just this like, Atticus, you probably just watch him just melt like into the nuzzle of the shoulder.
I can't believe the BBEG of this campaign is just anxiety.
It's
actually
trauma.
It's just everyone
It's
having
just trauma.
PTSD.
Yeah, just trauma.
Hold on. I want to make it gayer. Mish, may I make it a little gayer? Okay, cool. So, mental image. Atticus has like nuzzled down into Carter's shoulder and is like murmuring these things. And like Atticus goes to like pull away, and Carter just kind of leans his head back against Atticus's head and leans Carter's head like against Atticus's head for a moment. So it's almost like closing his eyes and using Atticus like a pillow just for a moment. And it's gonna look real fucking gay, y'all.
Tater in the back, like, are they homosexuals?
This is like the first thing about them George has actually observed. George,
Yeah.
George ships it.
Hey, bless George.
It's just like looking on at her friend and is just kind of like softening a little just at the moment. She's like, "Oh, good for you, Carter." It's like, meanwhile, Olivia is in fact freaking the frick out because this is too cute. But Pips is just like, this is so sweet and nice to see, and I'm glad that Carter is sharing this moment with Atticus.
Yes.
Carter will quietly like kind of like turn his head so his mouth is a little more aimed at Atticus, so he's not like talking up at the ceiling. Head still kind of pressed against him. And it's just quietly like, never makes us suck any less to be past it though.
Mm-hmm.
He'll slowly kind of pull his head away, give like a very sweet like little bump of the elbow as like a thanks, but in that very like dude who doesn't know how to talk about feelings way. So it's like, and then is going to keep walking.
Atticus will give him like a pat on the back as he's going to like stand back up as he's taller than everybody else in the group, and just kind of absently says, we usually kiss when we feel better in my groups, but you know, here we go.
Carter
Pushes
stops.
Carter on.
Carter stops. And it kind of like would give it an abrupt enough stop because he wants to kind of throw Atticus off a little bit, and he'll look back. He looks Atticus full up and down and goes, we'll see how the next few hours go. And then he's going to keep walking.
Atticus does everything in his power not to wag his tail because there are people behind him.
It is
Smacks
taking
Pips
every-
across the hall.
So much for our good stealth rolls, we get slammed into the wall.
Yeah.
Fail.
Between Pips and George, like the two of them are just getting batted against the
Ping
wall.
pong balls.
Yeah.
R.I.P. It is taking every physical bone in my body not to scream at this cuteness at the moment. I'm trying so hard.
I
Look,
love
I brought the gay. I brought this shark here for everyone to kiss, so everyone get kisses in on him.
I'm working on it. All right, we're getting there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But first, I gotta stab a motherfucker. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I mean,
Or we'll seduce him. We'll see what happens.
yeah. As the two of you are kind of having this calm moment to just kind of refresh before kind of moving onwards, Pater starts to like squeeze around the two of you in the hallway to go towards the one room with the Morse code machine thingy. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's in there and he wants to get to it. But as he's kind of swiveling around, his tail kind of hits the wall and kind of lets out this, it's a dull but somewhat resounding like boom. It's quick, but you can kind of feel it in the air, just the boom of his tail kind of hitting the wall as he scoots around, and he freezes in his spot.
Are there any other doors?
There's the one that you just checked. There's the one with the Morse code, and there's the door at the end of the hall. And then there's, I guess, back where you came from.
Carter immediately starts shoving everyone into the Morse code room.
Okay. I'd say everybody roll athletics for me.
Oh, frick. Okay.
Oh boy.
George gets a 14.
Okay, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 12.
Atticus
12.
gets a 17.
Okay, Pips.
Got a 3.
Pips! I can't believe Pips is dying.
Die.
I can't believe you shoved Pips too hard into my back ridges and just grated her.
No!
Absolutely just squawks.
Somebody steps on your
Surprise!
foot
He's
or
broke.
something, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't believe her drumsticks fell off.
Oh, no. And
Oh,
Pater got a
God.
natural 20.
I
Oh,
faked myself.
beautiful.
Him.
So,
I'll spook the nervous one. What do you
just
do
go,
that for?
go scare the baby.
Oh, the baby.
Yeah,
Spook the
Carter.
baby.
Carter, you start immediately just kind of motioning towards like getting in the room. Atticus, you and Carter kind of double team getting to the door and kind of ushering people inside to make sure that everyone gets in there. Pips, the sudden movement and the fact that the tail hit the wall, I feel like this would kind of trigger that Pipism of trying to verbally kind of justify like, oh my god, we're gonna get caught, like what do we do, where do we go, whatever, and Pater kind of scoops you up under his arm and kind of carries you as
Carry the
you're
baby.
as you're kind of having this anxious rant, just kind of picks you up and carries you into the room.
Thank God.
George, you kind of are the last one in the room before Carter and Atticus kind of file in behind you. And you're able to close the door and just wait and listen to see if anybody in the hallway reacts. Let's see.
Pips is holding like both her hands over her mouth, trying not to speak anymore.
And you wait a few minutes because you don't hear anything. So like you listen, and it feels like an eternity of just making sure that nothing happened. No one heard it. No one's coming. And it's silence.
Once again, Carter will carefully, stealthily open up the door to look out
Okay.
to see if anyone's out there. So that's a God, these 16s. I'm not going to complain. 16.
Okay. It is a clear hallway.
Right?
Nobody's out
So
there.
Carter will give to the group. We'll slowly step out fully into the hallway.
Pater kind of watches the group and goes to the machine to see if it's
Okay.
functioning and operational. And kind of examines it, looks around to see if any, runes that have been kind of inscribed on the machine itself have been tampered with, if any wires and cords that kind of filter into some kind of generator on the ship has been cut or anything like that. And tentatively, he starts to tap. And he taps just a general SOS message out onto this machine, hoping that somebody out there will hear. He waits. He waits. And then faintly you hear the buzzing of magic. Kind of like those, have you ever seen those magnets where you throw them up and they snap together and they rattle?
Yeah.
This like the little
Yes.
snake eggs.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sounds like that a little bit. Like a
Okay.
charge. And there's a little pad next to it. And the magic, the sharp buzzing starts to write out a response. Does anyone want to look at the response?
I feel like if no one had come out after Carter, Carter would have gone back as like, hey, what the fuck? And then
Fair.
would have seen everyone kind of like over the screen and would have gone, oh, okay, this is where we were trying to go, and would go watch. So
Yeah.
Carter would be looking.
I would also be looking.
George would also be looking.
Okay,
Quick question. Is
yes.
Pater still holding Pips?
I feel like, well, actually, hold on.
Yeah, hold the
Typing on the
baby.
Morse code
Like,
machine, holding Pips.
I was
Olivia,
gonna say, I
can
feel
you
like
roll
Pater-
to roll to contest strength for a second?
Roll to contest strength. I feel like
Yeah.
Pips is not fighting this.
Pips is passed out.
Okay, well, Pips, you are being held. Then you are still kind
Okay,
of like
well, then
you're
obviously
under
Pips
one
is looking
arm.
at this.
You're under one arm, and Pater's kind of tapping with the other.
Can I please pause it that when Carter comes back and he sees that Pater is trying to type, that Carter, very much like a parent with a newborn, is like, oh, yeah, let me.
Oh yeah, Pater's just kind of like, oh, sorry, and just like, kind of hands Pips over to you.
And for Carter, it's more like holding a large dog or something, because Pips, she's still like big, but
Yeah.
Carter's just gonna hold her, like
Wait,
he may
I
lean
still
against
still
the
see
wall.
I still see like Pips like this, but now in Carter's
cat?
arms. Yeah,
I
like,
just
a
have
cat,
this-
like a long cat.
I just have this visual of Pips when she wants to get set down, swiveling her background like a cat or dog, and wants you to put it on the ground again. Kick.
She's not exactly sure what is happening. No, she's not touching the ground.
No.
She's just kind of like, I cannot move.
Carter
I
starts
don't-
to hum softly.
Oh, this is nice. Okay. Oh,
Sprinkled it with little, it's okay, it's just me, I got you. Because he is very much viewing it like taking care of one of his little sisters now. So he's very much like, it's okay, I got you, it's all right, you know.
If Carter has come back inside,
Yes.
Atticus is going to go from watching what Pater is doing to just turn around and be the eyes looking over the shoulder as the free action character to make sure no one comes in or anything like that.
Yep, you can have your kind of attention split between what's going on in the room and out in the hallway if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the screen while holding Pips.
Pips
So-
is also looking at the screen then.
Everyone is just looking. So the message that kind of pops up is just naval vessel resolve. You know, state your emergency.
Pirates?
Yeah, pirates.
Trauma.
Pirate
Uh,
pirate takeover.
Yeah, pirate takeover on the SS Verbena, and probably some sort of coordinates. Listen, Carter's a Marine and knows this boat
George would
shit.
probably
I
know
would
the
say
coordinates,
George's
wouldn't he?
navigation.
Yeah.
Carter lets George handle it.
George
and
goes
shuts
up
his
to
mouth.
the front and reads the message and then tells Pater what the coordinates would be. I know nothing of what the coordinates, so we'll pretend George knows.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either. So you give fantasy coordinates, and
Francis, yeah.
and Pater kind of taps in, you know, hostage situation, pirates, SS Verbena, and then the coordinates. Simple. Just get the information out there. The response kind of comes quicker this time, and it comes back with casualties, question mark.
George just looks over at Carter and kind of at Atticus. He doesn't say anything though.
Oh yeah, because you two killed people.
Carter's just
Yes.
Just yes, not even a number, just yes.
and Carter will explain, like, you know, I have reason to believe that members of our crew may have been killed. Just if that's what they're asking.
We don't
Probably.
have a certain number because we haven't been able to see everyone, but
That's fair.
there has definitely been casualties.
So Pater kind of follows George's gaze back towards the other two and just, I'm not gonna ask, but I'm assuming that maybe one or two, at least.
Bare minimum.
Oh,
Minimum.
Bear, 1 and 2. Yeah, easy. But
okay.
of our people, I couldn't tell. I could only smell. So I can't
that's
give you a
worse.
number.
That's worse.
Listen, if you want to go take a peek.
I don't want to. No, that's the last thing I want, because I have a feeling I worked with whoever was in there.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna want to go look. It's not good.
Okay. So
George
Pater,
looks excited and horrified at this revelation.
Pips
Oh
is
my God.
actively trying to turn around in Carter's arms to look at Carter.
oh my
Here's
God.
Oh, if she starts squirming to look at him, he'll like let her, because she's a grown adult.
I wouldn't be surprised if the BBEG's George after all of this time.
Yeah. George
Like,
is
I
like,
read
"You know, the pirates had the right idea.
I read about this in one of my books. It's called a plot twist. Here we go.
They go into the
We
room and
go.
just,
Here
George
we-
goes away from them. There's no one in there. He's just like, yeah, it's B.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we go into the bridge and George walks ahead of us and then turns around and,
And
is
just
like,
turns
I'm
around.
actually
I've been
And then-
evil this whole time.
And then Captain Clay is like, oh, our actual captain.
Surprise!
Yeah.
I would
I
give
was the
Captain
the whole time.
Lamberte. Hello.
literally anything for that kind of plot twist. I
Oh,
would give
man.
anything for that kind of plot twist.
Dude, that would be
That's
Because then I
so-
have to fight
so
my
good.
party member who I've been trying to smooch for like 2 months now.
Please, that would be great.
I mean,
The
It's Jet.
heartache. The
But-
drama.
I know. The plot twist.
The plot thickens.
It really does.
George walks in and Clay says, "Hello, Captain."
Yeah.
That's so good.
Dear God.
That's
I'd never be
unfortunately,
able to handle myself.
that's not canon.
No.
But I wish it was.
That would
George
I would
isn't
lose
that
my
evil
mind.
yet.
Yeah.
There's
Yet?
time. There's
Yeah.
time.
There's time.
Pater kind of responds back, something like, there's a high probability, not sure of numbers, possibly our own, possibly the enemy, all currently in attendance are unscathed. And there's kind of this back and forth where the messages come in like, how many are with you? Pater takes count and kind of messages that, the people that are here, there are 5 here, there are 3 off assisting with hostage situations. There are some that are taking or seeking shelter in the kitchen. There are some that have been, just kind of going over the stuff that he knows based on what you've told him. But they kind of have this back and forth. And the Resolve, which is the name of the naval vessel, kind of replies, hold your ground. Don't do anything too risky. Which, knowing all of y'all, is probably whatever.
We're already on our way.
You're already, the door's down the end of the hall. Don't, do whatever, which you're all gonna ignore anyway. And then just, backup will be there shortly. So
How
there is.
shortly.
We should stay still then, right? Right? Because there's gonna be backup. So we should like stay here, right? Like there's no need for us to leave. There's gonna be backup, right?
Well, the question is, how quick is quick?
Yeah, how soon is soon?
She's gonna look at Pater.
Pater's writing how quick is quick, how soon is soon.
How shortly is shortly? Is
How
it a
shortly is
shorter
shortly?
or shorter?
Is it the
George
shortest
is just
short
making
ever
a
is
face
short?
like it'd be so boring to wait. He doesn't say anything. He's just making that
I want to
face
do a
expression.
murder.
Yeah.
I want to kill.
God, I
No,
want
Pater-
adventure in the great wide somewhere.
Pater's just kind of, transcribing all of the conversations that are kind of happening, and gets back something around how many nautical knots they are. I have no idea what, how that would be.
The stuff. Tell it to us
Fancy
in normal
knots.
people words.
Yeah, say it so we can all understand. I have no idea what that would be, but it's probably about an hour or 2 north and or south of where you are. So they're probably going to, turn around from where they are and kind of make their way towards your coordinates. The only instructions that they do give you is, stay anchored. That's the only kind of information that the instructions that they give you is to stay anchored so that the boat doesn't drift off and they lose where you are.
Are we still presently anchored?
Currently, yes.
Okay. All right. Listen, if we want to guarantee that we're going to stay in one spot, we probably don't want to stay here like sitting ducks. I'm just saying.
I agree. I'm ready to find this dude and punch my entire arm through its chest, ideally.
Impressive.
Is that,
Gross.
is
see
that
me do
something
it.
you can do?
I don't know yet, but I also didn't know that I could just break locks, which I did a lot of earlier. So who knows? It'll be a fun adventure for all of us.
George
Okay.
pipes up in the center of the group, and I have a sword.
And he has a sword.
You
don't know.
do. You do
Cool.
have a sword.
He's very proud of it. I taught him how to use it today.
Yeah, you did
Oh,
a good job with that. Thank
today.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, today.
George, I
That
didn't
is-
know that you knew. I didn't know that you were interested in swordplay.
Yeah. I have a lot of swords at home, but I only brought this one with me because it's the one I got at the thrift store. So if anything happened to it, then it would be okay.
I've known
Jasper,
you for.
stop.
Stop it. You two over there. You, both of you.
I would have been able to contain it, but Casper kept giggling.
Stop. Stop it.
It was
How's
fine until you said knife play. And
I
I'm
said
like,
sword. Okay, I said
Swordplay.
first of all, I
Oh,
said
okay.
swordplay. Second of all, how old are you again?
30, none of your business.
I forget all the time. I
You know,
think
me
that's my
too.
answer.
That's fair.
It's a
Um,
Simple Plan song. What's my age again?
I'm
Was it
just
Simple
a
Plan?
kid and life is a
A
nightmare.
That
I had no idea that was the
So
name
we're
of the
talking
song.
about
Anywho.
weapons and not
Weapons.
weapons. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like okay, no. In Carter is making kind of those faces, but in his defense, right before that had been said, he had just been imagining Atticus breaking the locks with his bare hands. And so Carter was kind of like daydreaming a little bit, and then comes back to hear, "Oh, George, I didn't know you were into swordplay." And Carter's face is just, and he's probably staring at the sword that Atticus has, and
the
doesn't
bow?
realize how obvious he's being.
Oh boy. Jesus.
All of this is going straight over Pips's head. She's
George
just like, what
also
is
does not
happening?
notice.
These
If
two.
Atticus notices
Thank
Carter
God.
staring at his sword, he just kind of limp wrists over it.
Oh my God.
The second
We're not
his
gonna-
hand drapes over the sword, Carter just
Pater just kind of turns towards you. Are you okay?
face
Everything good?
red. Yeah.
What the
Good.
What the hell was that?
Couldn't tell you. I think Carter's been having a bit of a weird moment all night.
It's been a long time, it's been a how many days has it been since they got on here? It's been a while.
It's been like 6 hours.
It's been a long 6 hours. How many times have we been knocked unconscious during those 6 hours?
Three.
Once.
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 I don't know. How long have you? Do you need a
A
minute?
while.
Do you need a
Gotta
minute?
step into the hallway. Carter puts down Pips and steps into the hallway.
Okay. Be
So
safe.
So our plan is to continue forward to deal with the captain, and hopefully that will keep us anchored if he's distracted with, fighting us
Like,
or anything like that.
Are we sure we can't just like stay here, or like wait
I
for
mean,
authorities?
you're welcome to stay here if you want.
No one's going to make you come in there if you don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable doing it.
You don't have to go in if you don't want to. I mean, the rest of
Kinda
us
like-
can go.
In training, they said you don't have to use the fire extinguisher if you're not comfortable with it, if there's a fire.
Do we need to use the fire
Wait.
extinguisher?
No, no, no.
No,
Wait, no, we don't.
Wait. What are you supposed to do otherwise? I thought you were supposed to put the fire out.
Well, you are, but if you're not comfortable using it, you're not required to use it.
I thought all my crew members had to know how
You
to
have
use
to-
the fire.
You have to know how to do it, but if you're not comfortable, they can't make you use it. You can
Hold on.
get someone who can use it.
Hold on. Entirely out of character. Is that true?
Is that real?
for like
That's
Yeah.
my
For the
workplace's training says that, and I have to watch the video every year. They say that.
Really?
that's
Yeah.
that's wild. If you're not
Wait.
comfortable using the fire extinguisher,
I'd rather burn
the
to
fires
death than be
ready.
uncomfortable.
I mean,
need to
hand it
talk
off
to
to
my
someone
cousin
else.
about this.
I think you're
hopefully.
gonna be
Like-
far more uncomfortable if you're on fire. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like I would at least give it a try, like hold it like really awkwardly while I try to do it, because I
Yeah.
assume if I were to just try and use it the normal way, it would
Yeah.
fire out of my hand and kill me.
It's like I
But I would
hope
at least try.
Burn.
I hope that maybe they're a bit firmer about that on boats, and maybe they're like, no, if something is on fire, you should
should
use
put it
the
out.
fire
You should put it out.
extinguisher.
Pater's just kind of
Yeah.
Pater's kind of assessing George at this point, just kind of like, I'm surprised they let you continue to work on the bridge. I mean, you're great. You do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I am just now worried in the event
Well,
of a fire on the bridge.
I would use a fire extinguisher. I'm comfortable using one.
Oh,
I'm just repeating what they
Yeah,
taught me in training.
He's saying that if Pips doesn't want to use the fire
Yeah.
extinguisher, she doesn't have to.
I'd be the one
know,
using the
no.
fire extinguisher.
We're gonna
Well,
have to have a talk with the safety coordinators after this about.
I was told we had to use the fire extinguisher. I didn't know we had a
Then you
choice.
should definitely have a talk with the safety coordinator.
You should definitely have a talk with the safety coordinator about
What kind
this.
of OSHA viviolations they
Yeah,
have.
there's something happening.
Brian
here that
David
we
Gilbert's
need to-
coming in here and filing
Yeah.
out all those OSHA violations.
Jeez. But you do now have confirmation that you will have backup within at least 1 to 2 hours. And now you are left back in the hallway.
At about this point, Carter would have probably taken a few breaths and like, okay, now is
Stop
not the
thinking about
fucking
that
time.
sword.
Now is not the fucking time. You know, would probably kind of go back in, but more like leaning against the wall, like by the door in the room. So he's in the room, but he's still by the wall.
In the
as
A
room?
he
tired
will-
way or a gay way?
Definitely in a gay way.
In the room.
I don't know how you envision that. The gayer, the better. But and he is waiting for like kind of like what the group's decision is.
Sorry. I don't
I'm so worried about what happened
I
here.
I feel like we should are both envisioning very gay ways to
Oh, is it the oh no, you've caught me.
Well, it's got less of Carter's legs staying on the ground, so don't worry about it.
Oh well,
Oh,
I mean
Oh my god, what is
Those
happening?
sisters have come back from war.
hello, sailor.
Oh my god.
But no, Carter's just kind of
Jason, you
leaning
just
with his
let
back.
me be a monster like this.
I you know, I do. I give you the freedom to be, and I think that's beautiful.
We here at Thesperience Productions and Nexilis Games feel like we are a
A
safe
hot
place
mess. Feel
to
like
be a hot mess.
It's a safe
Yeah,
place
we
to
are
be
a
a hot
safe
mess.
place to be a hot mess.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, Carter's just gonna have his arms crossed over his chest, back against the wall, genuinely chilled back out. And is like basically waiting for like, all right, so are we gonna go charging in? Or are we taking a couple of minutes to collect ourselves? What's the plan? Because we're not waiting for an hour, right? No,
No, absolutely not. No,
no.
I'm not.
Well, I'm not.
I'm not either.
The last
don't
time I tried to
anticipate on it.
play nice and soft, we passed out, and I woke up, and everyone got to see me be feral, and I really want everyone to know that I hate that more than anything else.
I
in
couldn't
the
really
world.
see it because I was far away and in the dark, so I didn't really see anything.
I'm glad for that.
It's just gonna come up to Atticus and pat him on the side. It's like, there.
Gonna come up and comfort Atticus?
Yeah,
Character development.
character development. She's gonna comfort Atticus.
Atticus is going to do his best to give Pips a hug without scaring the life out of her. He's going to keep his shoulders very still.
No wiggles.
I could just see the just slowly
Like
just
how Barbie's hug.
yeah how Barbie's hug.
You know, like when little babies are like picked up and they like give you the little pat on the shoulder. That's what it's like.
Aw,
She
baby
Amazing.
Pat.
gives Atticus a little pat
Baby
on the
pat.
shoulder.
Baby Pat.
Oh, amazing.
Little baby pat.
I wish I could carry Pips to our next destination, but that's not safe.
I mean, you can. What's stopping you?
The law.
As
this
long as
land.
your sword hands free, you can
There's
How
the
many
carry
people
law.
do I
with
gotta
you.
kill for you to know that I don't care about the law?
Yeah, right. Jesus.
The only reason I'm going to carry Pips is when we get into the bridge is to shake her and press down on her head like a
She's the
compressed
fire
air cannon
extinguisher.
The fire extinguisher.
and let her scream into the bridge and kill everyone.
Yonix the
theory.
box, Pips is the fire
Pips is the
extinguisher.
fire
It's all coming
extinguisher.
together.
Wow, we're learning so much today. But you as a group do kind of collect yourselves now that you have this message, and you kind of filter back out into the hallway. Are you going to continue onwards towards the door?
Yep. Weapons drawn. He
All
is
right.
slow, stealthy, but
Well, let's
Yeah.
see. Roll stealth.
yeah, we're gonna try for stealth.
Yeah, everybody roll for stealth.
Oh God.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
Woo.
20.
That's what I like to see. Huh?
17.
17.
George gets a 13 on stealth.
13.
Pips also gets a 13 on stealth.
George is trying to imitate what Carter's doing.
Okay.
I love George.
Jesus Christ, Pater. So
Hair.
Pater is
You
the
okay?
hello friend.
Oh.
Fading.
Hello.
Pater is the last one out of the door. And comes around the corner and is not aware of his tail again.
That dang tail.
And the tail kind of hits the side of the doorway as the door is kind of closing behind you. And it is a little louder than the last time.
I'm going to rip the tail off of this
Dragonborn.
dragon.
Right.
To Dragonborn,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a dragonborn. I remembered
Okay.
that. But my brain suddenly got really angry that this has happened twice.
Really quick. How far are we from the main door with the where the others are, where the bridge is?
Probably a couple feet. Not
So
too
basically, if Carter, hearing that noise, immediately decided to just charge the door.
far. Theoretically, you
bridge.
could.
Because Carter's basically like, we have lost the element of surprise. We are not going to be able to hide after that. They know we're out here. I'm just going to get in there before they can get out here.
Sure. If you want to
So
charge the
Carter-
door, go for it.
Yeah, without saying anything, because Carter doesn't think he really has time. Carter is gonna grab, basically take out his knives and charge the fucking door. He's gonna, yeah, because they've lost the element of surprise with Pater, so he's going in.
Fair. So, you're welcome to charge in.
All right, how do you want me to roll? Do you want me to maybe do an intimidation?
Are you trying to intimidate who's on the other side of the door, or are you trying to, like, what's your plan for once you get in there? Are you just going to start fighting?
Let me join you to
Or-
intimidate if you want that, because I loom over you.
All right. Carter, no. Okay, because we want to make this fun and cinematic. All right.
Okay.
So Carter will, like, as soon as that noise is heard, Carter whips back, looks at Atticus, and it's just like, it's go time. Let's get the shit out of him. And starts charging to the door. And yeah, is gonna try and intimidate, because it's basically gonna be a thing of Carter wants to go in there, basically guns blazing, but with knives, to like fuck their shit up and make the pirates realize they fucked up. So yeah.
Okay. So
Carter is going to try and like kick the door up, and basically he wants to Elliot Spencer from leverage his way into that room with the biggest show, and then just muscle man peacocking it alongside Atticus, unless Atticus wants to rip the door off the hinges or something.
Oh, that'd be really hot, wouldn't it? Just a quick question.
yes.
Is the door locked?
Oh,
I mean, that'd be nice to have checked, huh?
yeah.
No, that's why I asked, because I have knock.
You have knock. Okay. Would you like to check to see if... Do you want to just knock, or do you want to check to see if the door is locked?
Could you say that again? Because you froze up for me.
Damn it. Would you like to check the door first, or do you just want to use knock and go?
fuck, now I'm scared because you've asked me, you've given me options. No, guns ablazing. Let's knock it. Give it the little, what is that? Like the door knocking thing?
Yep.
No, the dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, and then
yeah.
I smash the door open.
Oh, I love that. Like knock, no, 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 knock, knock, boom,
I
boom.
love that.
That's-
Bam.
I can't help it.
Wham.
I'm
Carter
dramatic.
has such a crush. He has such a fucking crush.
Jesus.
Cute.
Y'all people or something else. So you
And then
do
Atticus
that.
gets promptly shot in the fucking chest, I bet.
Good God. Yikes. But the door is unlocked. And you push the door open. It swings. For a door as heavy as that's intended to have that kind of suction to keep water out if there was an emergency, it swings fast. It swings hard. It slams against the door frame when it comes around, and you all burst into the navigational bridge. George, you and Pater are both familiar with this because you work here. The room itself is very, very different from what you remembered hours earlier, the previous day. Everything seems to be thrown about. Papers are on the floor. Chairs have kind of been knocked over. Benches and stools that are kind of in place have been kind of ripped from the foundations, kind of tossed aside. So there are weird holes in the floor where benches used to be drilled in. But the only one that's currently standing is the one at the front of the bridge where you're familiar with Captain Russell to sit when he's kind of overseeing the bridge. And to your surprise, he's still sitting there. He's still sitting there, but he's been tied to the chair.
There it is.
And you kind of look around the room and you do see some pirate goons that are just around the room. About 4 or 5, but they've only drawn their blades to keep you from getting any further into the room. If you have blunderbusses, if you have like hand pistols, some of them have swords. But as you enter, you notice a large figure. And it's not Ozan. He's in the room, but he's kind of off to the side with some of the goons. It's a different figure. Large, rotund. You can see this intricate pattern of almost carved shell. There's intricate designs that kind of create this mosaic on the hard exterior shell of a turtle.
Oh, fuck.
And you notice a hand, somewhat webbed, with claws on the end, kind of raise to stop any kind of advance that the goons would kind of automatically jump to. And raise and lower. And the turtle kind of turns his head ever so slightly. You can see a captain's hat, pirate hat, kind of tipped just so over his eyes. And he kind of turns around, crosses his arms over his chest. Ah, I've been waiting for you all. And we're going to take a break.
No.
Ah! I know that's a purpose, but
Also, I hate to say this. I went from being mad about this captain dude to attracted to him immediately.
I know.
I know.
I knew it was
I
gonna
know.
happen. I even knew it was gonna happen. I was like,
How could you do this to me?
I'm sorry. I'm
He
sorry. I
likes-
thought a
he likes
turtle
to
captain would
personally
be
attack.
cool. I do. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Personally attacking people.
Unfair.
Voidal captain.
Toidle. Toidle captain. Toidle.
Okay, I have to
But
go get
we're-
like real dinner now because
Yeah, go get some food. Yeah, we're gonna take a short intermission. Everybody go hydrate, go to the bathroom, get some real food in your system, go for a walk in a circle around the room, pace, I don't know. Do something, get the blood flowing to your feet. But we will be back shortly with the finally encountering Captain Richter Clay and
Yes.
all this, I guess. So we'll be back soon. So everybody have a good intermission.
Still in 10. more ice cream.
Hi,
I
we're talking
also
about
want
ice
ice cream.
cream.
Oh, hello.
Hello, we're talking about
Hello.
ice cream.
Ice cream.
Buy me ice cream.
Yeah. Hey, we
like
have a
ice
lot of donation links if you want to help a bunch of queer people
Get
afford
ice
ice
cream.
cream.
I want some ice cream to go with my cake tonight.
Yeah. Then
Help
you should like make
us-
donations.
Help us eat ice cream.
Please
Uh,
know half of them are lactose intolerant.
No, don't
not
listen
gonna
to
stop
that. Don't
me.
worry
Don't
about
listen
it.
to that. Don't listen to that.
Don't worry about it.
Don't listen.
I'm
to
watching
that.
out for them.
If you were really watching out for us, you'd give us money for ice cream.
Give us money. For
Yeah, Olivia, be a real ally. Get us
Like, give
ice
us money,
cream.
give us money for
Listen,
ice
I don't care about ice cream earlier. I would like more of it. So you know.
Yeah, ice
You know?
cream.
I'll donate for the cause, but it's got to be lactose free ice cream.
No.
Mm,
What if I take a
uh,
lactate?
Okay, fine. I'll get you money for lactate too.
Okay.
Okay. I appreciate
Trader
it.
Joe's
Lactate
has
and ice
an
cream
ice
for all.
cream that I went feral. I usually don't eat a whole lot of ice cream. I get bored with it after a little bit. But Trader Joe's had their wild berry cobbler cheesecake ice cream a while back. I only ever got to have 1 pint, and I sat and ate the entire thing. And
Oh
I
my
literally had to ask Pixel to take it away from me so that I would stop eating it.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
I've never been that obsessed with an ice cream. And now they don't carry it anymore. And I'm just suffering.
That's so rude.
That's
That feels homophobic
That's
and
homophobic.
transphobic.
Get your shit
And
together,
is
Trader Joe's.
Ableist.
Joe,
Yeah.
Joe betrayed you. The truest
Yeah,
traitor,
betrayed.
Joe.
This is a
Truest
hate
traitor.
crime.
The truest traitor, Joe.
the
Unbelievable.
biggest traitor of them all.
I can't
Joe
believe Joe,
himself.
but yeah,
Joe!
traitor.
Trader
No.
Joe needs to fight HBO Max.
Oh God.
Clash
The
of the
Trader-
Titans. Trader Joe versus
Trader
HBO
Joe.
Max.
Anyway, hello. Welcome to
Hello.
Pirate Boat. We're on
There
Pirate
was some
Boat.
shit going down.
There was a little bit of some shit going down. You
This
kicked-
pirate
Little
is kind
tiny
of really
bit.
hot.
Yeah, that's the shit that's going down. Is the pirate's hot. You kick down the door to the bridge, the navigational bridge of the SS Verbena, and you have finally met Captain Richter Clay, the captain of the Clay Pirates, who are currently taking over the SS Verbena, and he is a hot turtle.
How unfair.
I know.
I came in here to be angry, and now I want to seduce again.
I know. Just one look at him, and suddenly you're like, well, oops.
It's especially doesn't help that then you gave him that voice, Jason.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's just not fair.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's just
Yeah, no.
I can't
Well,
help
now
what ideas I have in the shower, okay?
I mean,
I
best
can't help
ideas
that.
come from the shower. That's what they
Exactly,
say. So,
that's-
like, you
Yes,
know,
we should curse the
Exactly.
shower.
Curse you, shower.
for giving such great ideas.
Yeah.
Meg, such a sexy
So, are we gonna
motherfucker.
fight? Are we gonna fight? We gonna flirt? We gonna fight? We gonna what's gonna
Are we gonna
happen?
banter? Is that what you want right now, Jason? Is some bantering?
I mean he told his goons to calm down.
Okay,
He
okay,
did tell his goons to calm down.
okay.
Ips actively has her serving pan raised over her head, ready to strike. She is not trusting anyone. I hope you know this.
Is
but
she
she's kinda like-
shaking from head to toe?
Oh yeah, no. She looks like Shaggy and Scooby Doo the minute they face the
She's-
monster. But like,
she gives
you
me
know,
she gives me vibes of like in video games when they're like when somebody's ping is just off the charts and their character is just like their character model isn't moving but it's just sliding across the room. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's it.
see, like Pip's just holding it and just sliding across the room.
Yeah, but it's more like she's doing that like bird hop, like left to right, like kind of going around in a circle. Yeah,
Oh my god.
but it's very contained to like a small portion because she doesn't want to move any further out. But she's also like, oh my god, they're all around me. I have to make sure all my area is protected. So she's hopping like around in a circle.
Like one of those wind up Easter chickens.
Yes, she is a wind up Easter chicken.
Yeah. Oh, Piffs.
That is
Oh
exactly what
boy.
she
Bless. Carter will put his not his knives away. So it's like they're still in his hands. But like he's kind of resting them by the hilt. So it's like he's not in a combat position. But it's like, hey, all y'all still have your weapons drawn, but not raised. So he has his weapons drawn, but not raised.
Okay.
Just, it's like, well, I hope we didn't keep you waiting too long.
Well, not really. I mean, you did take quite a long time with your nap.
I really did need that nap. So are you to thank for that?
Me? No, not really.
I guess not directly. No. You're calling the shots here, right?
More or less. I mean, I'll be honest, Ilara kind of does whatever they want. Who am I to stop, really?
Yeah, I can kind of figure that. All right, so I'm just gonna go on a limb and say, can I ask you to get the fuck off the ship?
You can ask.
No, I'm figuring you're not gonna say yes. Is that a safe bet?
Yeah, I'd say so. You can just ask, but I'm not necessarily going to listen.
No. Well, you know what? I figure it doesn't hurt. Mind getting the fuck off the ship?
I do mind, actually.
Okay, yeah. I look to George. Yeah, we tried. No, Pips. Sorry, Pips. Looks to Pips. And it's like, we tried. And then we'll look back to the captain and go, well, then I guess we're gonna have to make you. So
Have that be.
yeah.
I mean, is that how this is going to work?
I
Can
mean,
Pips raise her hand?
Is Pips raising her hand?
Pips is raising her hand.
Yeah,
She
does that.
This isn't the classroom, but sure. Do you have something you would like to say?
Hi.
Hi.
I mean, could you please get off the ship? I know my friend asked a little bit, but I know there wasn't some nice languages, but could you please get off the ship?
No.
Okay. So then I have another question, which is can I ask why did you take our ship specific? I mean, there's so many other nice ships out there, and like you could get like any ship out there. You're obviously big and strong, and you can get any ship you'd like easily, as it seems. But like, why our ship? Could you just go take another ship far away from here?
I could do that. But
Can you please go do that now?
No. It's already too late. Sorry. Already picked this one.
I don't think it's too late. I mean, you really, I don't. It's never too late to do anything. I mean, you can always start something late in your life. It always happens. And I mean, you don't have to necessarily start something from the beginning. You can always just like start again and like try something new.
Carter reaches out and puts a hand on her shoulder. He said no.
I thought maybe we'd try all the instead of just okay.
I really just don't want him to get tired of you and decide to shoot you or something.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
a valid point.
I figured. Yeah,
I
I figured. So I just want you to be okay. So kind of gives Pips another little tap on the shoulder, like comforting. There.
I mean, it's nice to have a friend like that to look out for you. So.
Yeah, no, I don't think I asked. I look back to Pips. Just be good.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still different things we can ask him. I mean, he can change his mind, right? Like he can change his mind.
All right.
Like a nice
So, Cat, whatever the fuck your name is.
Clay.
Sir, what was your name, sir?
I was making a point to not ask.
But you should. I
Right,
mean,
I was doing a thing. I was doing a thing called being a dick. Pips.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I ruined
No,
it. I'm
no.
sorry.
It's okay.
Am I interrupting something?
No, okay, all right. So what's your plan here? I explained my plan. My plan is to get you off the ship. But what's your plan? Maybe we can make some sort of arrangement or come to a compromise.
There's a weird level of like exhaustion and frustration on the side of the heroes that the captain is having to see, where he's like,
It's like you
"Maybe we
came
should."
you came in here and you
Y'all
brought your
came in
shit in here.
Now you just gave my whole crew anxiety.
Yeah, now we're all worried for you. We're like, are you okay? Like what?
God damn it.
Uh, goodness.
God damn it. Okay.
Atticus is going to speak up because he's like looking between the lot of them and is like, cool. This is just going to continuously be a thing. Before we get too much further into this, your plan is clearly to steal stuff and take over the ship and do all of that. And obviously we don't want that.
Well, that's true. I understand. I mean, to be entirely honest, your guests do have a few things that might be valuable, might be things that I can make a bit of change off of. Bless you.
Yes, they're a lovely.
Sorry, Captain. Sorry.
They're a
That was
lovely,
recorded.
rich bunch. I think we could gloss over that.
Yeah,
You
I
wouldn't
mean,
have.
that's understandable.
You wouldn't have taken over the ship if there weren't
Yes.
rich people on it.
Of course.
We could all put that together, right?
But there's something that money can't necessarily buy. And that happens to be a pardon. So...
Unbelievable. Did he freeze for anybody else?
Oh,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
froze
oh
right
no! I said
Exactly.
I
Froze right at the cool thing.
No, I said the only
I'm
thing
so
that money
stressed.
the only thing that money can't buy is a pardon.
Oh.
Oh fuck.
Okay. And a pardon. Where are you trying to obtain a pardon from on this ship?
Well, I know that your captain here has connections.
Every captain does, I guess.
No, this one specifically.
Oh cool. R1 specifically.
Yeah, okay. So Carter's gonna look to Russell.
Mm.
Captain Edwards, do you care to explain anything?
I think this has all to do with oh, bye.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I don't know why that happened. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
It's the technology ghost. It's okay.
Yeah.
Technology
Sorry.
ghost.
You're fine.
I think it has something to do with my time in the military.
Ah.
All right.
It happened a while ago, and I thought I'd forgotten about it. There was an incident on a naval vessel that I used to sail with. I'm not 100% sure what happened. I was just a cabin boy at the time, but our ship went down. I was the only one who managed to stay afloat long enough to see help. I do remember Richter Clay was the cause of it. But I didn't think that an accident would lead you to piracy.
I imagine the whole group is like looking at Russell as he explains the story, and then after he finishes that, everyone turns
Yes.
to look at Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
hear the rest of the story.
That
Like,
is exactly what was going through my brain.
Oh yeah.
We all turned.
And Clay kind of reaches into his belt and pulls out a knife, just holding it up.
Carter pulls out his a bit.
I'm not going to do anything. You do realize, Captain, the reason this all happened is because you didn't speak on my behalf.
And Russell just kind of he's sitting pretty straight in his chair. He's not really fazed by the knife at this point.
I mean, I wouldn't have had to speak for you if you would just come when you were summoned to speak for yourself. If this is a misunderstanding, they would have listened. You do realize that, right? Your running away made you look awful suspicious.
And he kind of moves the knife closer, just gently resting it on his throat.
There's no time to change things. All I want is a clean slate. And since you didn't help me then, you're going to help me now. So I'm going to ask you again. Will you advocate for my pardon?
And Russell stays silent.
I mind link with Russell.
Okay.
while Carter does that, I see about maybe trying to pull Clay's attention back to us and away from like sticking knives and sharp bit and soft bits of people.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So yeah, Carter. Well, do you want to do that first while I talk with before I talk with Russell?
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to I guess empathize with him. Look, Captain, there's no need for all of this. If it's a pardon that you're seeking, maybe there's some way we could convince Russell to help you, and then we can all help each other and we can get past all of this.
And how do I know that you mean what you say?
Because I have been caged up, imprisoned before because people weren't on my side. I found my way out. It was not easy, and I am not proud of it in any way, shape, or form. But I choose to try not to go back to that place anymore. And if I can help people try and find their way to their own safety, to their own freedom, then I would gladly advocate for whatever it is you need.
He moves the knife away from Russell's throat. He still keeps it in his hand.
How will you make up the reparations that I'm owed?
That is something better discussed over a meeting table rather than a battlefield.
I agree. But don't disregard the 30+ years. The 50 glorious years. The 60+, 70, 80, I don't know anymore, years that these military forces breed villains out of simple mistakes. Things could have been different, I agree. Discussions could have been had, I agree. There's no need for battlefields. I'd like to agree. But when words could easily solve a problem, just as easily as they can cause one, that's when you have to wonder, how effective are fixing problems made with words? With words? How does that work logically? At some point, blades have to be involved where words fail.
I've been where you've been, and you talk a lot about time. I don't have any idea how old I am, how long I was imprisoned, when they started experimenting on me, or how long they did it. I was also in a similar place where I begged and I pleaded and I used words every single day of my life to try and get free from where they had me, to stop feeling needles, to stop feeling chains, to stop feeling like a monster in my own skin. And I did eventually just lose myself. There's probably still blood all over that building where they kept me. And I'd wished every day since I was free from them that they would have just listened just once, that I didn't have to turn to blades. That's what I want to be, is not having to constantly turn to my blade. It's the bow to my violin now, just as a side note. I don't want to use it as a weapon. I don't want to fight you or anybody else. I think a pardon is a perfectly reasonable thing to get out of somebody, especially if it means saving a whole ship full of lives or whatever. And I hope that that comes through when he says that it sounds almost like he's siding with Captain Clay, because he feels...
Roll persuasion for that.
Sure. Because he's starting to feel like maybe what Russell is refusing to give seems trivial to him. Because if people had just listened to Atticus when he was still trapped, he wouldn't have feral level PTSD. You said persuasion?
Yes. Also, Casper, you had a thing you were gonna say?
At some point, there is basically as soon as Captain Clay has kind of pulled the knife away, Carter would start talking to Russell. Just,
Okay.
I want this to get wrapped up first.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Okay, what did you roll for the persuasion?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dang.
Okay.
Use my ocean looking dice today, so they're a little bit more on my side.
All right. You notice that Captain Clay is listening, is actively listening to the things that you're kind of laying out. You mention your imprisonment. You mention the things that you don't want to be and the steps to leading to that freedom. And he does cock a brow a little bit, just kind of like an interested kind of, okay, so you do understand where I'm coming from, but it's still heavily guarded because while you've expressed that you do to a degree understand, you haven't necessarily provided any kind of solution that he sees as kind of valuable to this situation. It's more that, okay, so you understand how difficult it is, but there's no further step that he sees that you've kind of talked about, like, sitting down at the meeting table, discussions over battlefields, working that out, and that, it's justified that you want this kind of repayment for the wrongs that have been done to you. But in his eyes, he's well past the point of conversation and discussion. So he's still guarded, but he's waiting for you to say something that strikes a chord with him. But you've done a well enough job that he sees you as somebody who understands. And at this point, he has respect for that experience. But not necessarily.
He does.
Yeah, but not necessarily. Not to say that he doesn't have a respect for your contribution to the situation, but he doesn't trust that what you're saying is going to work for him.
That's perfectly fair. While I consider what Atticus could say next, can we scoot on to Casper's part?
Yes. What are you telling Russell?
So with the mind link, it's just more of like basically what Carter wants to know is, Captain, what do you want to do?
I want to keep him in this room. He can't leave this room until somebody comes for him. Have you or anybody in your group contacted for help? Just SOS and yes?
Yeah. They're on their way.
Okay, how much time do we... hour or two?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how long he's willing to listen to reason.
When he stops, we fight.
Okay.
You say the word and I'll fight.
Okay. I'd like to keep things as civil as possible before that, but I also don't want to upset him more than he already is.
I'll do my best to not feel the need to attack before your command. We'll put it that way, sir.
I know it's difficult. I know it's hard.
but we're going to have to try and keep him engaged in conversation as long as we can.
Yeah, it's tough. You know that there is a room down the hall. I don't know if you've seen it. That does smell kind of strongly of probably what I assume to be, the dead people that used to sit in these chairs up here. So it is kind of hard to not want to, avenge that.
I'm aware. Thankfully, you weren't here when those bodies were placed in that room.
Well, I guess I got to admit, I admire your composure.
If there were other circumstances, I feel that composure would be long gone. We'll see what happens when backup arrives.
Carter, well, probably ideally making eye contact with Russell, will actually make a point to sheath his knives.
Oh. Okay.
He doesn't clasp the sheaths or anything, but it's more of honest, the whole thing of he was upset about seeing the room of bodies, and then that kind of whole oh yeah, this guy probably saw them die, so he has a point. No, I'm gonna, no, you have a point. And he trusts this captain, but he's still sticking by his statement of, I will try to not feel like I need to attack before your command. But he is kind of making a statement of okay, I'm willing to talk, but he isn't clasping it. And he kind of wants Russell to see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a dog kind of putting away his biters, and it's just and then he's going to kind of just turn back to watch. Because Atticus is clearly working this a lot better than no. So that's his conversation with the captain, unless the captain has a finishing point.
I mean, he doesn't really have anything. It's just, I've said what I think will help in this situation. I cannot contribute, but if anything were to go wrong, I entrust it to you and your group to handle it.
All right.
Does Carter make a kind of easy to see show of putting his knives away?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not subtle, because he honestly would also like Clay to see it, because he's kind of trying to feed into let's calm him down. So Carter even kind of makes it seem he is not happy about it, because he feels like if he was happy about it, it seems suspicious. So he just seems unhappy about it, but it's kind of I concede, fine, we'll talk sort of thing. But no, he makes a show of it.
Does George notice him doing that?
Yeah,
that was going to be my next question.
Okay, cool. George resheaths his sword as well.
Atticus does the same, and probably motions to Pip to put it
still
down, vibrating in place.
I know, I was gonna say Pips is still vibrating after talking to the captain, who she realizes is probably a bigger threat than she meant to actually talk to. It's probably double speed vibrating. So she's just kind of hopping around like a freaking toy on steroids, and she'll see everyone kind of sheathe their weapons, and she'll stop hopping and just kind of you see her hesitate to put the pan down, but you see her, she's holding it, and then she it kind of dips down a bit and comes back up, and then finally she'll kind of hold it closer to her body, but it's still kind of high up, not in the air, but high up to her face.
Is she near Carter at all?
She's probably towards the back near whatever door is there.
Okay.
She probably came in last.
He'd give her a little nod then, if she's not near him. He gives her a little nod of no thumbs up, but a good job.
And once everyone's got their weapons shield, Atticus is gonna hold his hands up see, we can just talk. We could talk about how we can convince Russell to be on your side and how we go from whatever happened before to whatever future you want.
Captain Clay kind of waves towards the little goons that are kind of around the room, and they put away their weapons.
Shit, yo. For
I've
now-
never persuaded so well in my whole fucking life.
That was good though. Also,
Alright.
Atticus.
I
I
wanted to
know.
be very, very clear to everyone that even though Atticus is saying these things and trying his best to like calm Clay down, he is absolutely mortified that he is saying all of this out loud. Not
Oh, I
even people
bet.
who have been intimate in bed with him on multiple occasions know any of this about him. And he would have preferred it stayed that way.
Well, see, now that everyone knows, they have to go to bed with you.
Oh darn.
Them's the
Oh
rules.
no.
God.
Captain Clay, you heard my sad backstory.
You got
Oh
Blood's
no,
big enough.
Captain.
Oh no,
We
you
can
know
talk
my
more
you
under
know
the
my
covers.
you know my
Oh,
tragic
Captain, my
backstory.
Captain.
Oh boy.
You smell like you have real high.
You look big enough for like
Captain.
all of us to lay on top of. That seems like fun.
Yeah, the
no, but
soft
we-
underbelly, definitely not the
Yeah, the soft
yeah,
underbelly
the
part.
soft
The
underbelly, but
the plastering, I believe is what it's called, because I
I've-
have a roommate who loves Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, so don't worry about any of that.
I was gonna say I know absolutely nothing about turtles except that I held one once. That's it.
Carlisle?
Fair enough.
Yeah, Carlisle.
Good.
Oh, the cute name for a turtle.
Oh, Carlisle.
So yeah. So very important question.
Okay.
Where is Clay's stance with his knife right now?
He'd probably wait until everybody in the room sheathed their weapons, holstered their guns before taking his dagger and kind of hitching it in the front of his belt where the sheath is for the dagger or whatever. He'd
Pretty
sheath his
hot.
blade. So he
Pretty hot.
has that away, but his hand is still on it.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
And you said when we came in the room, everything was just fucked.
Yeah, it
Just
was. This
turn
is
entirely
probably a result of when they first stormed the bridge and kind of had their encounter with the navigation crew. And then they just didn't bother cleaning it back up. It's just still a mess.
Oof.
Cool. Is there a big enough table somewhere in here that could sit as a meeting table?
There is a countertop towards the middle of the room that kind of has a lot of the scanners, the radar, it's all magically infused, so they're like little crystal bobs that are just kind of like plugged in to keep those radar screens on. A lot of those screens have been busted, so it's not like a functional operations desk anymore, but it could theoretically be used as a table.
Sounds great. I make a pretty grand gesture of like a meeting table. Let us all go stand around it and maybe discuss how we go about getting you a pardon.
So are you stepping up to the table?
Yes, but Atticus is going to step up to the table, but he is going to make motion that not everyone come with him because we have a couple of people who are still standing by the door. So
Mhm.
maybe I go and I don't know. I feel like maybe George maybe read some stuff about negotiations in a book once.
Probably.
I mean, George also is on the navigation team,
true.
Yeah.
so you're familiar with the bridge.
Yeah.
But then I kind of want to keep everyone like close, but I don't want anyone who is near the door to leave the door.
Okay.
George is still kind of near the door, I'm picturing, but I don't know where the door is in relation to the table.
If worst case, Carter will swap.
I'm sorry. Just I think my Zoom cut out at like the right time where you were all saying where we're going. I don't know where we are.
In the
Pips,
room.
you can keep vibrating right where you are.
Yeah, you can
Pips
just
is-
vibrate in the corner. It's okay.
It's a vibrated the corner.
Yeah,
She's gonna
I just
bat.
love the image of her just like, all right, if anyone comes to this door, I'm taking them out.
Yeah, honestly, sure. I'm down for that. Pips can go stand by the door.
Okay.
We'll just set her
Sure.
by the doorway where she can just shake there until she passes out.
Yeah. She'll be the I don't know. If anybody walks in the room, then she'll just shake on them.
It's like
You know.
it's gonna be one of those things.
It's an
Is the door
intimidation
closed or is
tactic.
the door open?
The door is I'd say it's open because you kicked it in.
Yeah.
Oh,
shoved
it's
that
the door
bitch
he came
open.
in through. Okay.
Yeah,
never
yeah,
mind.
it's the door
Yeah.
you came in through.
So-
Yeah.
Okay, Pips will stand because I swear to God, if anyone walks through that door, Pips is immediately smacking them in the face with the bat.
Okay.
That's just what's gonna happen. I don't make the rules. She's too on edge.
It's vibrating so hard,
That's
it's like a
fair.
jackhammer shaking the whole floor, and it would just shake out the door if they try to come in.
You can just hear her little bird feet just.
Like that.
Exactly, little just
God.
super little skitters down the hall.
That's so good. Just I love
But yeah,
that for
I
her.
would
So-
take just George over so that it's not like the whole group goes over and menaces on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep. So if Pips is by the door, Carter will either also be. I'm assuming that Russell's being taken to the table. yeah.
That's up to Captain Clay to decide what he
Oh,
wants to
that's
do.
true.
Let's
We can
see.
also just yell at Russell from the table.
That's fair. Russell is still in the seat, and
Okay.
Clay kind of motions for some of his goons to come and stand next to him, but he does leave enough room so that he can see and communicate with the people at the table.
Okay. Then Carter will stay by the door with Pips. But he's
Pater
keeping
is
an eye
also
on...
Pater is also at the door with you.
Okay, so Pater is with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carter is basically keeping a very close eye. I could imagine him moving closer to Captain Russell in the sense of like, again, hands up. He's not pulling anything.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like, you gotta understand. Gotta keep an eye on the guy. Gestures to, his captain. But we'll kind of just stand with his arms crossed. Like
Okay.
as if he is not even expecting a fight, but he is much closer just in case something happens.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're
there-
all or Atticus and
Sorry.
George are at the table with
Yeah.
Captain Clay.
I kind of look to George and I'm like, is there like paper and pen? Would there
George-
be paper and pen somewhere in here?
George knows where to find paper and pen in the room.
There's also some papers on the floor. They're
Okay,
just like on the floor.
George then looks at Clay and says, I'm just going to pick up these papers real quick, and if you happen to have a pen so we can do the negotiations. And George moves really slowly, making sure his hands are visible and it's clear he's not going to try anything, and he carefully picks up the paper and puts them on the table.
Captain Clay's just kind of watching you as you do this, and you mentioned if you have a pen, and he kind of,
Do I look like I have a pen?
No, but you look like you know a lot about the ship, so you might know where you've seen one last.
Atticus just has this face of like, yeah, this has been my life for the last like 6 hours.
yeah,
So-
because he says, George says that, and Richter kind of like looks at Atticus, just like, oh, did that really just happen right now? Was that really a thing that was said? Yes, Olivia.
Can Pips? I don't know. Do you guys have an inkwell? Because Pips will literally just pluck out a feather and hand it over.
I said, oh no, we changed clothes because we were
Yeah.
because I assumed she would have had a pen in her uniform that she would have been wearing earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
but she-
probably
Took it off.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably an
Cardinals
inkwell
probably
in a
did too.
drawer.
George had a pen because he also had a notebook with him.
Oh yeah,
But he doesn't anymore.
We
Oh,
all had
yeah.
pens before we got knocked
yeah.
unconscious.
Everyone
I
had a
think I
pen.
actually did all
No more
have
pens.
pens.
We
No.
did all have pens.
The one thing that you need to win the
Different
game is a pen, and you don't have it anymore. No, there's probably like a pen or an inkwell or something in like a drawer that hasn't been smashed.
I was
Okay.
gonna say Pips will chirp a little and just kind of offer a feather that she plucked when no one was looking from herself. And like
Thank you,
offer
Pips.
it.
George takes the
Just-
feather.
I'm keeping an eye on Clay, and I'm like, yeah, this is the last 6 hours that you've put me through by taking my shit hostage. I really want you to understand that.
He's
He's
just
like,
kinda
he's not
thinking-
saying it. He's just got that look on his face.
Oh yeah, no, it's translating well because the thought is just, how is this the group that made it to the bridge?
Yeah.
How is this
This
the group
is
of
as
people
good
that are
as
here
fucking
right
mine.
now?
It's such a good question.
Like,
I'd
so
like
of
to
all the
know
people,
myself.
what's- He's like,
Look, we're here.
what
We
in
got
the
it.
world?
Don't worry about it. So let's
Yeah.
start with you said you needed reparations. What sort of things would make you feel repaired? That's not how that word works.
No. Right. Atticus, I am broken. I'm a broken man, Atticus.
I do a lot of fixing, and you've got some excellent carvings. I would love to trace my claws in them, but let's not worry about that right now.
Oh my god. You write that down on the paper.
Just a little bit of claw. Look, I like tattoos. I like scars, and tracing them are it's right up
It's
there.
like what
Maybe
would make
Atticus
you feel
does
better.
actually
And
say that a
Atticus
little
just
bit.
just writes in as a bonus, a night with me. Like
Bonus.
as a bonus, just a little
As a
add-on.
treat.
As a
Just
treat.
count it.
Treat.
You can almost count it as a double bonus if you think too hard about it.
What?
Good God.
Killing Casper over here. Look at
Jeez. This is wow, this
I don't get
this.
it.
I came in
Olivia,
here without
don't
the
worry.
I'll message
intention
you on
of-
Discord.
It's okay, Olivia, don't
Okay.
worry about it.
I came in here without the intention of flirting with Captain Clay because Atticus was very mad about going feral earlier.
What's
but
funny
you made such a hot captain.
What's funny is I was like, oh yeah, the minute they walk in the door, it's all over.
You gave him that voice, of course we were.
Sorry.
rude.
Sorry.
Rude.
My
No,
bad.
no, don't apologize.
Don't ever apologize.
Don't ever apologize.
Who
Your
said
voice
I
is
meant
so
it?
good.
Who said I meant it?
Dear Lord.
All
So you have the
What?
paper, you have the pen. He's kind of, thinking it over.
I don't think there's anything that can repay my reputation. That's been slandered. But if they can think of something, then I'd be happy to listen.
So you're not looking for, say, like a title or your position that you used to have reinstated or anything like that?
I don't
I
think...
personally wouldn't go for that.
Well, I don't think in any life, past or future, would I want to be enslaved in the ranks of the military. Again.
Does Carter make a noise in the back that's like, you know what, fucking
You know
fair,
what? It's
fam,
like, you know
fucking
what?
fair.
Oh no, okay. One, I thought I was muted. I hope I didn't make any audible sounds. I'm sorry for distracting. No, but Carter he has a response to that. And it's like he smiles a bit at that. He's like,
So, look in my face.
so no, there is a very clear, he doesn't make any noises, but there is a very visible like yeah, but doesn't like say anything because he fears like, someone turning around and shooting him in the face, so it's just like not right now.
All right,
Jeez.
then I think I understand the kind of thing you might be looking for. Tell me if I'm wrong, but you want your name this reputation that has been built, any eyes that might be on you of any sort, looking for you, hunting for you, anything like that, you want all of that erased.
Well, here's where it gets a little bit hairy. See,
Both very scaly, but okay.
Mish, I swear to God.
I don't know what is with me tonight. I've got too much going on. I'll mute myself while he
No,
talks.
no, you're good. You're
No,
good.
it's
You're
so
good. No, that's
good.
great.
I
It's
love
great.
it. I love it.
It's great.
now that's where it gets a little complicated. You see, their description of me as a fugitive, as a traitor, as a deserter of my own little group that I worked with. You see, that's what gave me the motivation to create a new reputation. You see, if they paint me as a villain, as a criminal, then why not give the people what they want? I've been doing, I'd say, pretty well for myself, since they deemed me an enemy of the state. So, hunting for me, they haven't got me yet, so what makes them think that they will anytime soon? I like the thrill of having a bounty on my head. Makes life a little bit more exciting. The thing that I don't think they'll be able to promise me is the detriment they caused to me, personally, at that age. To take somebody that was simply doing something and accidentally, at this point it's been so long, I can't even remember if I was doing something improperly, if I mistook something, if I was blamed for an action that someone else did, I don't know. But they're naming me their enemy. Brought me to this life. They can't repay the me that I would have been. They can pay me in as much gold as they want. They can erase my name from boards, from posters, from their archives. But that mistake has already been committed. They have already given me this new purpose. To prove to them that they are the enemy. There's no amount of money or forgiveness that can alter the course of life that they forced me to walk. So while I would like a pardon for this action that I supposedly committed, in full knowledge, I don't want to go back to being a civilian. Because I have built something. I've built this. And if they are afraid of what I've built, then good. I'm glad. I've done something. And I've lived up to their expectations. you can see why their actions can't be forgiven. So I don't know how you're going to write that on this paper, but I'd like to see you try.
Atticus is just going to admit that he's really hoping that George was paying attention to everything that was just said.
George was
'Cause
paying
about-
attention. George's only suggestion, which he doesn't think is the right time to bring up, is that Clay should go on a book, like write a book and go on a book tour about it. But George doesn't
Did you
think
write an autobiography for that?
Yeah,
That's
I
I would
mean,
cool.
he's
love to
famous
read it.
for
and
his
get your
experience.
autograph.
Oh, George.
I love George so much.
Oh, George is great.
So fucking much.
Thank you.
I
Because
also
Atticus kind of blacked out for a little bit, and he's just like, "This is just really crazy hot. Everything that I'm hearing, I'm losing my mind." Whoop! I'm back.
It's like, thank God
Yeah.
I wasn't writing that down.
I was like, Carter isn't saying anything, but he is seething. Because he gets Clay, but he's also really pissed about how Clay's been going about this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's so fair.
Because it's like, I'm not gonna go on a ramble, but Carter is seething. He's not opening his mouth, because if he does, it's gonna be a mess. But yeah, he's
Mm-mm.
George hasn't said anything because he doesn't have any ideas that he's realized that there's a bit more risk in this room than he was expecting, and people are looking at him.
Oh
And they-
no!
He can't copy something he's heard in a book, and he has to think about stuff for himself, and he doesn't know what to say.
George.
Oh, George. I think this is the
This is-
first time George hasn't known what to do.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that
Oh,
breaks my heart because
Yeah.
Atticus dragged George over here specifically because he was like, George seems to be
Yeah,
on top
George
of
gets
everything.
it. George knows what's up.
oh, the delicious irony of it all.
This is-
though.
Oh,
yes,
my
it
God.
is.
Okay.
Cinematic
Gorgeous.
brilliance.
George is good at this at the regular skills, but he's not good at people skills
Oh,
beyond what he can mimic
George.
from a book.
Oh,
Oh.
George.
So
Yeah.
cinematic.
I want
So
to
good.
wrap him up in a blanket and just take him back to bed. Go back to sleep.
Oh,
All these
go-
people
take
need
him
spa
there.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Oh my God.
Go back up into the ceiling.
Get back up there.
Just tuck him back up in the vent.
Yeah, just burrito him and then just stick him back in there.
He can fall out and dent him sometime in the middle of the night.
Well, at least he'll be wrapped up in a blanket. It'll be a comfortable.
softer then.
Yeah, it'll be softer
This
then.
giant cocoon George falls to the ceiling onto Denton, who's finally trying to sleep.
Yeah. Did George write
God.
anything down though?
George was writing it down.
Okay.
He was doing that.
Okay. George's safe space is the ceiling.
It really is though.
That's so good.
Atticus is like looking down every so often, like another page, another page.
George is
Fuck.
pretty fast at writing. He's writing it down as much as he can because he thinks that he's supposed to kind of write it down as much verbatim as possible.
Could you roll a dex check for me? I just want to see how quickly
much
you
does he
wrote this. Yeah, I want to see how much of this you wrote.
And
I gotta tell you,
how
this is not at
legible
all
was
where I
his
thought we were
handwriting?
going to
Yeah,
be
and how
at
legible it
9:55
was.
at night.
Okay, so he got what Dex? He got a total of 21 for Dex.
Oh my
fuck.
God. Yeah, you managed to hit all of the main points and you even get some detail in there as well. So you're taking notes, you're kind of writing in like the key bullet points for the things that you're hearing, and you pretty much nail just about everything that you've heard, which is incredible.
Does Clay also notice that George is legitimately
Let's see.
taking like the best fucking notes?
Hold on. Let's roll a different one for him. Let's roll the ocean one.
Yay, ocean ones.
I think he's a little too wrapped up in airing his grievances that he doesn't really notice how much of it is actually getting down on paper. Because I
George
think
is actually like taking it seriously and writing it.
yeah, because I think at this point, the further along he gets in like his little rant, the more he's kind of like zoning in on like Atticus, just like having this one-on-one conversation. Like you see
George in
what's
the
happening, and
background.
George is in the background, just like yes.
Yes, tell me more.
He's like those sketches of courtrooms where they have the
Yeah.
note taker in the front. Like that's George, just in the
Yeah.
front, just like, yeah, okay, I got it.
Give me those deets.
Yeah, give me those juicy deets.
Give me all of them. I can write them down. I can write fast
So you're
enough
really
for
not
that.
interested in being like a large turtle bed because I'm really into whatever's going on here right now. No,
That's fair.
so Atticus also is not so great at negotiating. He also already mentioned that no matter how much he begged and pleaded, he could not escape his situation. So that's what he was hoping George would do. He looks down and is like, "Oh, George is taking notes. Cool."
Yeah.
Oh, great. I could relive this exact moment in time.
Oh, really good fucking notes. Okay. So I guess my biggest question here is what does this gain you? What does coming up here and terrorizing us and tying up Russell and demanding stuff from him, what is the end goal in all of that? And Atticus is, you said Clay was really zoned in. Atticus I joked that he wasn't paying attention earlier, but he is paying as much attention as he physically can.
That's fair. Clay stops and he takes a moment to think. And he can't seem to come up with an answer that he feels is satisfactory. Yes, a hand has been raised.
A hand.
A hand.
Because again, Carter really is getting this guy, but he knows he's not the most charismatic, you know. But if Clay is struggling with an answer to find an answer,
Mm-hmm.
he may like kind of clear his throat to kind of like segue himself into the conversation and kind of like step out of the line of like him, the pirates and the captain and everything, and kind of more towards the table.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not aggressive, just inserting himself in and just, all right, let me maybe offer another question. All right. You're asking us, right, to help you figure out what can bring you closure, perhaps, retribution for whatever. But the problem is you seem to be seeking something. Do you know what would make you feel satisfied? Or are you expecting to just know it when you see it?
He takes a moment.
I know it's a little bit out of reach. But I would like to see those that doomed me to this life. I'd like to see the fear in their eyes when I cut them down.
Okay, so you are pursuing direct revenge, right?
Sure, yes.
Right. So, what does bullying Captain Edwards into giving you a pardon, how does that help you get to that end goal?
I have this feeling that a lot of us have been to therapy, and that's how we ended up talking like this to this
Yeah, I
pirate
was gonna say, this is just therapy with a pirate. I told
Oh
you,
my
this whole
God,
thing is just
the enemy-
trauma.
The
What could
enemy
you do
of
to
the
feel
game
empowered
was
in this
trauma.
situation?
It's
Trauma. It
Trauma.
continues to be
It's
trauma.
a theme here.
You can tell which of us have been to therapy because we're just echoing our therapists right now.
Oh my God. Because it's just dawning on me. I was like, he's looking for something that's very violent, and we're trying to find a way to get him to not be violent about what the vengeance that he wants. We're like, this is a therapy session. We're
This is a
giving this
therapy
pirate
session.
therapy.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
free therapy
but-
session.
It's also partially like, honestly, I don't know how much Carter's gonna say, but he's bitter because it's like, hey, listen, we both got similarly fucked over to a degree, and I didn't go fucking ruining people's lives over it. Okay.
I kind of did, but I got past that and found something else to do.
It's okay. You found
Yeah.
you found some coping skills.
You know,
I learned to
alright.
cope, but
Well,
I'm
it's
not
like
functioning.
well, it's like Carter didn't go just pursuing innocent people and harassing them. Like he didn't become a pirate; he became a chef. You know, and it's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you harass people differently. when you're a
okay,
chef.
he's not killing people
No.
until they try and threaten his crew. He's not traumatizing or stealing. He's just, he's a little aggressive in the
He's
kitchen, but he's like,
wanky.
yeah, he needs therapy.
Mm.
A lot of it. But anyway, so yeah, he's a little frustrated of like, dude, he didn't have to be a fucking killer over this shit. Jesus Christ. But he's not gonna say that.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
yeah. So
George's
yeah,
like George's only context is that he had a shitty boss who was toxic and verbally abusive to him at his previous work that he did on a ship.
mhm.
But he A, has not been to therapy yet, and B, just ended up getting fired eventually, and that's how he got out of that. So he doesn't feel like he has the skills to actually get out of a situation like that, which is why he can't give those skills to Clay or help with that part of the negotiation.
George.
Trauma at it again.
Oh,
George, you
boy.
sweet baby.
So,
George.
oh boy.
But yeah, so Carter
So
would
this
be like,
therapy session.
Yeah.
Also, Pips, you're by the door,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Cool.
And she's trying to survive over there.
Cool.
I don't like this.
I'm gonna need you
No.
to roll me a thing.
No.
Could
What do you
you
mean to roll?
could you roll me
No.
a perception check?
Ooh.
Yeah, just
Actually-
a little perception.
Actually, that might be the
check.
only thing I'm good at. Hang on.
Oh
Okay,
shit.
well, good. Then you're by the door.
No.
Oh,
No, don't say no.
what do you mean no, Olivia? What did you roll?
It's a 4.
No. What?
It's a 4.
I
You
thought
know,
you said she was good at that.
Can I roll again?
you know, you can have this. You can roll again.
Yay! Oh shoot! Hang on, my dice fell. Hang on. Oh shoot! Hang on. Okay.
See, they're frustrated about being
Okay,
blocked.
that's
Yeah, they're-
slightly better.
They're a little.
That's
They're
a
upsetty.
14.
A 14.
That's
Her
a
whole
14.
10 on it.
Yeah, that's a whole 10 higher.
The whole 10 better.
So, are you still like hopping around?
Oh yeah, no, she's got her pan. She like lowered it because everyone else lowered their weapons, but she's
Okay.
got her pan on hand, ready to smack anyone who walks through that door.
That's
you know.
fine. But you're like hopping around, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're hopping, you're
I don't like it.
vibrating, you're whatever, you're having your moment in the corner. And as you're hopping, you notice something's a little off.
What do you mean by off?
Your steps don't quite sound the same.
Like they don't squeak.
No, like when you hit the ground, you don't I hear that like little pap 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 of your feet on the ground.
Oh.
You hear splashing.
Oh no!
And that's where we're going to end it for this week.
Ah!
Amazing. I can't wait for our therapy
Oh,
session
so
to be
good.
destroyed.
Fuck you. That's so good though.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You
Oh,
still
I'm
have
so
loose
excited.
ends. I'm just saying loose ends.
And that loose end is probably mad as fuck.
We
Oh,
should
yeah.
have killed them when
Oh.
we had the chance.
Oh yeah.
I,
Look, I was tired of killing people. I know I had the chance, but I just didn't want to that
Oh,
time.
yeah.
I thought
There-
maybe
you
she
have-
just wouldn't come back.
You have a loose end that is mad as fuck.
this
I know.
is a partially a joke, but like, hey, All I request is that if Carter and them can continue that like super weird, like not actually flirting, but kind of flirting while fighting thing, that'd be great.
I mean, we'll see what happens next session.
Hell yeah. Okay. All right. We'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
We'll see.
See,
We'll see what
I don't
happens.
Well,
like this. I don't like
Jason,
it.
thank you as always for another
Yay, that was
amazing
such a good
session.
session.
Yay! Dee-ba-dee.
As always, Verbena is such a blast. And I hope the chat also had a good time.
Yee.
Yeah. All right. So, how would we like to sign on off tonight, Jason?
I don't know.
Do we want to go through a last introduction before we sign off?
Yeah, let's go through so y'all can tell everybody what you're doing and where to find your cool stuff. I was gonna say nose goes, but Olivia's camera's off, so that doesn't work.
Sorry, hang on.
Are you gonna have your little? Okay.
No.
amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a d4. That's what we're gonna do.
Awesome.
All right, and we're starting with Mish.
That's me.
That's
I'm
you.
Mish.
That's you.
So, hi everybody. I'm Mish. I play this dumb slutty shark man who somehow turned into a therapist for some reason this session.
Yeah, that
Don't
was
worry about it.
interesting.
I'm brought to you today by One Piece because I'm getting to go see the One Piece Gold movie tomorrow.
Oh,
And I'm
it's such a
very
good
excited
movie.
about it. You can also see me do other dumb things that aren't One Piece related on Twitter at Niche Arts. You can also find me on YouTube and Archive of Our Own and Ko-fi. You could hear me on Jar of Rebuke and Softboiled Detective and another podcast that's coming up soon that I don't remember the name of, and I'm very embarrassed by that because I am like a pair of almost lead characters in it.
It happens.
It happens.
It's fine.
You can also find me in a handful of games such as All That Ails You and Limbo Line, voicing some pretty major characters there too. And I'll be in another game coming up called The Death March of the Butterfly, I think is what it's called.
Ooh.
Which is almost entirely cast with Jar of Rebuke Jar of Rebuke voice actors.
Hey.
Because I'm in it, Vin's in it, the Succubi Queen is in it. Names that I
Misha.
really
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
Misha.
Oh, Misha, yeah.
Yeah, we are all voicing characters in that.
Oh, I remember her talking about that in the Rebuker Discord. Yes. Mhm.
And it's beautiful. We're finally getting a chance to get back on it. Everyone has just recorded their lines. It's amazing. Everyone sounds so freaking good. And the art is, I don't know. This is the most beautiful character I've ever voiced. I don't know if I'll get to voice anything any more beautiful until I'm actually voicing in animes. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, I look forward to seeing you guys here on stream every other Monday and hopefully back on my own stream soon because Pixel is going to let me use this whole setup to stream going forward because it works way better than using my little laptop and a screen that can't sit on my desk because it's too big.
Yeah.
Setup. So I'm hoping to get back into some streaming, hopefully some co-streaming with some folks who are here.
Hey.
And now I've officially introduced myself for way too long, so now I'll stop.
That was good though. Everybody go follow Mish.
Yeah.
All right. Casper.
Hello. I am Casper Oliver. I play Carter, who's just a mess. I like, he's kind of become like unofficially Elliot Spencer from Leverage with even like less people skills. Which is very fun for me because I have a bad habit of playing healers. So this is very fun. And I love looking forward to this. And also having Jason as a player on other Mondays where I also DM clocked in where we've had guest players like Ashley has been a player with us. But it's Capitalism is Bad, the game, basically, and it's a modern fantasy, anti-capitalistic sort of romp. If you like leverage, you might like it. But yeah, so that's a good time. You can check us out every other Monday here with that. I now also do streams every Friday. My wife Nessa and I, who's in the chat, she is introducing me to her wide range of indie video games over on my Twitch. We call it Gaming It Up with a Y, gaming it up. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay.
And I also really hope to do more streams on my channel. I have a lot of ideas that I really want to do. I also like to raid other people's channels. So like if any of y'all want me on your channels for your streams, hello, you know where to contact me. Yeah. And you can also hear me in a bunch of podcasts, Jar of Rebuke, which is currently, we are working on season 2. So that isn't ended. We are still working on Jar of Rebuke. You can also hear me in The Soft-Boiled Detective. You can hear me in Georgie Romero's Done For, and Hello from the Hollowoods, and in Finley and the Chaos Crew, which is done by Ashley. And I just love doing stuff. I love to do whatever I can get my hands on, and it's great. And I also work at Conundrum House. So hence me taking over the plugs. So if you want to help support a thing I do, please check out Conundrum House.
Keep rolling. Oh my god. Okay. Ashley.
Hello, I'm Ashley. I played George tonight. Our favorite chaotic little elf, half elf. I can't remember what I made him. But he is full of chaos, and as we've learning tonight, apparently trauma also. I do art, I do writing, I have an Etsy shop. Right now my Etsy shop is having a 15% off sale on everything. So there's lots of cool stickers, lots of cool Pride stuff, I have some enamel pins and stuff like Pride Frog enamel pins, a lot of fun and cool things. And that sale's probably gonna go for a week or two. It's been a while since I've done a sale in there, so already made some extra sales from that, so that's always a fun thing to do when you have a sale. I create Finley and the Chaos Crew. I'm working on a couple of other projects, so I'm excited to announce those things when the time is right. But yeah, you can find me on my card is ashleycraft.card.co, and on there you can find a link to the fun things I do, including my Etsy shop. I'm on Twitter as Ashley_craft, and then on Instagram, TikTok, Ko-fi, pretty much everywhere else is just Ashley Craft without the underscore. So that's all my fun places you can find me.
Hell yeah.
Whee!
And Olivia.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. Howdy. That was 3 ways of saying hello. And I play Pips, who's a harpy, and she's always nervous and anxious, and I wonder where she gets that from. Certainly not her creator. No, not at all. And I don't have a lot much else to say. I draw a bit. If you want to see my drawings,
A bit?
a bit. I draw a bit. Don't look at me like that. Anyway, if you want to see my drawings, you can go find me on Instagram and Twitter under the name Ollie Artie, OLLIEARTIE. I spelled that really quickly, but hopefully someone put that in the chat. Cool. That's about and nowhere else. That's fine.
And what about the zines you're working on?
And I'm working on a couple of One Piece zines. And if you want to find my One Piece stuff, you can find it on my Tumblr, which is also Oliardi, and you can find it on my Twitter that's called It's Your Kitchen. And there, are you all happy now?
I'm so proud of you. I put it in the chat.
Good job. You did it.
Anyway, if you want to see some One Piece zines, there's an Ace zine that's currently gonna be almost there's a Ace One Piece zine, Port Gisty Ace. If you love Port Gisty Ace, that zine is gonna start pre-order soon. Keep your eye out on it. I think it's called the Loving Ace zine. Have fun.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Awesome.
You're doing it.
About as much as I got.
That's still good.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Yeah. And I'm Jason. I run this shit show. It's great. I DM here on the Verbena days, and then I am in the party on the Clocked In days, and I play Saris, who is a elven ranger who is yet to hit anything with a bow and arrow.
He's
Oh,
trying.
no.
We're almost 20 episodes into Clocked In, and he has yet to hit anything with a bow and arrow. It is kind of sad.
He's trying.
Baby.
Doing his
He's
best.
really trying. He's doing his
Tried.
best. He's really trying. But we'll see where that goes. I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff with Thesperience and Nexilis games. I've worked on the overlays for D&D streams. I run the tech on my computer. I know you probably can't see it, but I have Streamlabs up on a different monitor that I keep looking at to make sure that internet isn't shitty again. So we'll see how that goes. I also help update the Nexilis Games fandom wiki page, which I took a bit of a break while I was on vacation, but now that I'm back,
Good.
we're going to be slowly updating more stuff, adding more descriptions for each of the episodes as they happen with dates and times and links and stuff. So if there are previous episodes from other campaigns that you have yet to watch, we have links there to the YouTube playlists, because all of our previous episodes are up on YouTube if you want to watch those. So definitely go and check out the fandom wiki. It's just Nexilis Games. If you look it up on Google, Nexilis Games fandom wiki, it'll pop up. It's right there. Trying to think of what else. Getting ready to record the additional DLC content for Nightshade, You Are the Drug. It is currently being written, and then there's going to be some cool stuff for me to record coming up soon, which is going to be really cool. My episode of Badlands Cola came out recently, which is a podcast about archaeologists in the desert researching bones and radio broadcasts and all of these cool things, and I got to play the motel owner. So if you want to hear a cool motel owner, I'm in episode 2. And you won't hear me again until episode 12. But that's okay, because the rest of it is fantastic. And if you like, it's like a little bit of Welcome to Night Vale, a little bit of like eldritch horror, a little bit about bones and dinosaurs and stuff and cults and stuff. It's cool. It's got like a whole cool vibe going on, and you should definitely check it out. Thinking what else? I've been editing scripts and coding for a visual novel called Hidden Treasures. I talked about it like a long time ago, but progress is still moving forward with that. It is a dating simulator where you date D&D goblins, and they're all queer. They're so queer, and I've
Truly
been
what we deserve.
exactly right. But definitely, I think the demo is still available to play. So if you have yet to investigate the Hidden Treasures game, definitely go check it out on Twitter.
Do it.
You should. Olivia helped with a lot of the concept art for it, so the characters are adorable thanks to her, which is great. We love that. I'm working on coding and script writing for some of the characters, so all of the cool tech stuff, again, it's me.
Thank you for all that you do for our streams.
So there's a lot of cool stuff. So check out my card, jasonlarock.card.co. It's got my resume of stuff on there, so you can look at all the projects that I've been a part of and links to all those things. You can check out my voice acting stuff if you want me in your D&D streams, if you want me in your podcasts, if you want me in your indie games, if anything that you need a voice for, go check out my stuff. If you want cool overlays like the ones on Nexilis Game streams, you can commission me. I have commission rates up there for you to have your own cool stream stuff. So go check that out. Hire me for stuff. And then come vibe with me on Wednesdays on my Twitch, which is just J_SON Larock, because I'm original. So come do that. and we'll have a good time. So I think that's everything. Thanks again to our sponsors, Grinding Coffee Co., Conundrum House, and As You Like It. Go check out those 3 businesses. Take our discount links with you when you go check it out so you can get some cash off your purchase, as well as support the company, support us, all that good stuff. Get yourself some nice coffee, get yourself some nice puzzles, get yourself some nice, but
Toys.
some nice fun times.
Nice
And I
toys.
don't think we have anything else, unless anybody has any last minute things they want to say.
Nope. Unless anything changes between now and then, you can join in with us next week, same time, same place, right here, for some Clocked In. We're gonna fast forward through time a bit and get to more modern day.
Although I'll be
leading the table.
Yeah, I'll be up in that direction.
Yeah.
On the screen. I'll be up there. I won't be down here. I'll be up there.
And yeah, if you want to help support our projects, the best way to do so is to sign up on the Thesperience Patreon. There are tiers for as low as $1 a month or as much as $100 a month. Any price range is appreciated. And no matter your tier, you always get early access to content, updates on projects, and bonus content. Whether it's $1 or $100, you will always get that material. Anything else usually is because there's a price tag produced in the cost, like merch. But yeah, if you want to do one-time donations, we also have a Thesperience Ko-fi and a Thesperience Buy Me a Coffee. You can also donate via Streamlabs. We are affiliate, so bits and subscriptions, every little bit helps keep us afloat, and we really try and make this lucrative and successful
I
for all
see
of
what
us.
you did there.
What did
You
I do?
said afloat, and we're on a boat. You get it?
That was so intentional, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. You're so
Thank you
funny.
for giving me that much credit.
Just
I
take
appreciate
it, please.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm tired.
Me too. All
Very
right. Well,
rude.
again, thank you all to everyone who supports us, whether it's monetarily sharing our works or suggesting us to your friends or whatever it is. Thank you for supporting us and being here. And if you haven't been active in the chat, but you can hear me, thank you for being here. Even if we haven't heard from you, thank you for supporting us and thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it and can't wait to see you all next week. Now I want to go to bed.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool. Everybody
I'm
have
gonna
a
go
great
eat cake.
Go eat cake and have a great rest of your week, because it's Monday. The week's just getting started. Have a good one, and hydrate or die straight.
That's a threat.
It's hot as balls outside. Bye.
Bye.